Okay, one of the biggest questions I get is, does Wing Chun work? Now, people, believe it or not, will come up to me and say, oh, I want to come learn martial arts from you, or they email me, but does it really work? Well, I wouldn't be doing it for 27 years, and I won't have travelled the world and spend so much time and effort learning something that didn't work. I don't suggest you do either. But it's a valid question, because a lot of people look at YouTube and they see so many clips, so many people call themselves masters, grandmasters, and posting all these sorts of things. And obviously they look at it even from a beginner's eye, just from a normal, intelligent viewpoint, a lot of it looks pretty rubbish. Not to say there are not good people out there is some good people out there, but unfortunately we seem to have quite a wide variety of ranges out there, which are making people's view of Wing Chun a bit confused. It's supposed to be a very solid street fighting self-defense system. You had people saying at one point, you can't use Wing Chun in a ring, you can't use Wing Chun with gloves, because you can't use all the deadly techniques and all this sort of stuff. And at the same point, when you see what they're doing, they couldn't punch themselves out of a paper bag. So, the argument doesn't make sense. I mean, for me, the way I see it is, obviously we have a competitive fight team. Our guys use Wing Chun in the ring, and they've used it to a very high level in the cage, in MMA. But obviously we still need to have very refined self-defense skills at the same time. I think you must have both. You must have a robustness to your system, and the fundamentals must work under pressure, and then you must have sophistication in your skill to have depth in your movement and control. The two go hand in hand. You don't have one or the other, you have both. But if you don't train in a realistic manner, in a manner that tests your movement and your power, and also your fitness, because some people say to me, oh, but your guys are really fit and strong, that's why they're successful. Well, that's true, they are fit and strong, they do work hard, and we do work on our conditioning. But just the same as any other martial art. If you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which also I practice, if you're not fit, you're going to suffer. You have to be fit because you're working hard. Because the situation is that you're always sparring and rolling. And in terms of Wing Chun, some people just only practice Chi-Sao and don't spar, and their Chi-Sao becomes very detached from reality of what's actually being trained. They don't even break a sweat. When I do Chi-Sao, we work hard. So again, Chi-Sao can be trained in many, many ways: hard, soft, fast, light, different ways. But it must be trained in a way that's realistic to its outcome, which is it's developing your fighting abilities and fighting skills. And we all know Chi-Sao is not fighting, but it should be close to the movement and energy of what you're trying to develop. Otherwise, it has no real role to play. So yeah, my view, Wing Chun obviously does work if it's done properly. If it's done badly, then even bad Wing Chun can be effective, in the sense of Wing Chun as a system is direct and fast, but doesn't necessarily make it a good system. Some people obviously can use Wing Chun at a reasonable level, but it doesn't mean what they're passing on is a good system. Right? So some people will show you stuff, or you can see stuff, and you think, well, that seems good, or they seem quite good. But if their students are not good, and their students can't do the same thing, then there's a problem. So that's a good test for me when I look at a system of Wing Chun, is to look at the broader aspect of what's going on. How good are the students? The students performing at a reasonable good level. And then obviously in our system we focus on body structure. My teacher Robert Chu has spent many, many years defining what that really means, because people have a very unusual view of what that means. They think by saying that they put their hand in a certain place, that's the structure. That's a very simplistic approach. Structure is a very deep and multi-layered skill. We're not just referring to the structural positioning. It's to do with timing, balance, awareness, and many, many other things. So with that in mind, if you have them levels of skill in your Wing Chun, then I think, yeah, Wing Chun obviously does work, and I wouldn't be doing otherwise. It did take me 12 years before I found my teacher. So I spent a long 12 years trying out different systems, different styles of Wing Chun, until I found my teacher Robert Chu, and then I was very fortunate enough to be accepted by him, and in my mind learn a very complete system.